Secondary, in like particular for what? When you just how they played?
Yeah, how they play.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. I mean all those explosives in the first half for the pass game wasn't just on them. It's the linebackers' fault too. Pressure's got to get home. There's a lot of different ways you got to play defense. I thought they tightened some stuff up. I helped them with some calls, obviously in the second half that put them in better positions, and it's my job to put them in those positions, and they did what they needed to, in my opinion.
And then when this is the first in-game adversity you were able to have, to kind of do this 45 games. How did you like the way that your players responded to being in that close game, with halftime being 17-16?
Well, I think the message to this defense, and it has been since all through camp, like we got to continue to develop trust and toughness between all the players because they're all new playing together. And that's really all we've talked about is every game, every snap, you're developing more and more trust with the guy that plays beside you. I think we played like 32 players in the first game and played 29 players last week. We're trying to play a lot of guys, which makes it tougher to develop trust because you're playing beside somebody new, and you're always changing it up, But I mean, our guys didn't blink. It is what it is. That's part of college football. I don't know if y'all watch any other games, but you can give up a play every now and then. You go down there and pout, they're going to give up another one. So you better figure it out. And the adversity of my thing at the end of the day too, and what our guys believe. I don't care about yards. I don't. I'll say that out loud. There's only two lines that matter on that football field, and this is the one that gives up points. And I want our guys to firmly believe that. So you give up eight first downs, you don't get points for those. It's when you get down here, how are you going to respond? How are you going to bowl you back? What, are you going to fight for the guy beside you when the field shrinks? We're going to find some of that stuff out this week for sure.
As you watch film on tour, what stands out to you about their offense?
Oh, they're just, I know the head coach. I've worked with the head coach before. I've worked with 6 other guys on their staff. Really good coaches. They want to control the game. They're going to try. The biggest thing is, they're not going to have negative plays. Those guys are going to fall forward one way or another. They're going to get multiple tight ends in the game. They're going to run the ball and play action pass. They're going to move the pocket. They're going to do everything that they can possibly do to get positive yards. And that's I think the thing that stands out to me. They take care of the football, and they do a good job of that. But they don't have negative plays. And we've done a decent job of getting TFLs and getting in the backfield and doing some different things this year. This is an identity game for us. It's an identity game for them. It's going to be a good football game.
You look at DeMarco Ward when he came in, switching the positions, what went into that, and how's he performed so far?
He's done well. He scored 2 touchdowns in 2 games. It's pretty good.
Why did
He caught the ball and went in the end zone. They get touchdowns for those.
Why did you want to change the switching?
Just because. I mean, DeMarco is when he came, he could play linebacker as well. He's a big guy, and he came in 220 pounds, all that, but he can run. He can run. He's 22 miles per hour is what he can do, and he's got obviously ball skills, and he's an intelligent football player. I always say the closer you move a guy to the ball, they get better. If you're going to move a guy away from the ball, you better be fast, and that's what he is, and he's intelligent too. So he puts himself in some good spots, and still learning, still doing a lot of early player things, but he's doing good.
Against Georgia State, what exactly changed in the second half to prevent the amount of explosives you guys gave up in the first half?
Pressures. I mean, just different ways of pressures, playing on an edge up front, things like that. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that. It's not just one pinpoint thing. I don't think we played any harder, to be honest with you, in the second half as we did in the first. It's just we put ourselves in better positions. We didn't run right down the middle of people. We didn't have as bad of pursuit angles. Everybody sees the missed tackles. You got to see what leads to missed tackles. It's the pursuit angle, and that goes back to developing trust. If my pursuit angle is correct and the guy beside me's pursuit angle is correct, I can't miss. If I do, my buddy's going to make it. And what happens is your pursuit angle goes off, and he misses. Then it's just a domino effect. Now the next guy missed, the next guy, and so the pursuit angles got a little better, and that was a big thing for us. And that goes back to developing trust within your teammates, and that, to me, that was the biggest difference.
For the uninitiated, how does trust and pursuit angles mean? That's something you've just said a couple times. Right? How does that exist together?
Well, if I'm playing defense, I'm going to tackle you. So if I'm inside out, I'm trying to get to your inside half. You're doing your best to square me up as a ball carrier. I've got to trust. If I'm going to take a shot, I got to take a shot through the inside half because somebody's taking a shot through the outside half on my defense. Defensively, if you're going out there and say, hey, I want you to square up everybody, there's really good offensive players. And you got to cut people in half, and that's really what we teach, and that's how we can play fast and do things like that. And we got to trust that the other guy's doing the same thing I'm doing, because if I run full speed but that guy doesn't, there's still a crease there. So you keep developing that trust.